What is up with this car? This car is like blocking us on purpose, going into both lanes. 2024 Kawasaki Z900. A lot of vibration everywhere so far. Handlebars, mirrors, and seat. Foot peg's not so bad. Like I said, hopefully it smooths out during the ride. Alright, Kawasaki Z900. Foot pegs are very far back, more than I'm used to. Pretty dramatic compared to that Vulcan I just rode. This bike's got some power. This bike just wants to go. Only at 4,000 RPMs, and this bike is trying to get away from me. Smooths out pretty good. Still a little vibration everywhere, but not as bad as it was when you were idling. This engine is probably the smoothest engine I've ridden in my life. Haven't even gotten out of third gear in this bike, and it's got so much power. Oh my goodness. You know, my buddy Alex Dalby from We Ride 2, check out his channel. He said he loved this bike and he did not think I would like it. Surprise, surprise, this bike feels amazing. This has power on tap. That cramp in my left hip has gone away now, a little bit more comfortable. This feels very stable. Tons of wind, but completely in control, no problem. I feel like I could just pass everybody right now with not even a second thought, without even coming out of fourth, is what it feels like. And it's so smooth, no vibration anywhere. The mirrors, nothing. The handlebars, nothing. Foot pegs, nothing. So I'm 6'4", and it is a little tight for me. If I rode this regularly, I don't think it would be an issue, but just riding it this one time, I'm definitely not used to it. Yeah, before I was shifting way too early. Now that I'm shifting at the right times, oh my god, this bike is insane. Third gear going 60. This bike has got some nuts. I'm really liking this bike. I typically don't like sport bikes or naked sports, but this feels really good. It's not as flickable as I was hoping. Does feel a little top heavy. Not a huge deal. That's just that throttle is buttery smooth and as much power as you could ever want. This feels like a $10,000 bike. When I rode the 650 RS, that's around 9,400, and I don't think it felt like a $9,400 bike. I don't know what this is listed at, but right away 10 grand seems right for brand new. If you could get this for like 8 grand used, you'd have one beast of a bike. Not leaning too far forward. Mirrors they're doable. They're not the biggest. Handlebars seem just enough, like just wide enough, not too narrow. Foot pegs are a little bit further back, but my knees are not very cramped. Would I recommend this for beginners? Absolutely not. This has so much power. You gotta have to have ridden something before you just jump on a bike like this. If someone has their second bike, maybe. The seat looked really thin when I was looking at it, but so far in this quick test ride, no issues. It's comfortable enough. Could I ride this bike 100 miles plus straight? Yeah, probably. I'd say it's comfortable enough, not too far forward. And but the gas mileage, looking at this MPG average at 30 miles per gallon, that's absolutely horrible in my opinion. I don't know what this class of bikes typically average for miles per gallon, but 30 ain't doing it for me. I wish it was just a little bit more flickable, like pushing on the handlebars. If I push really hard on one side, it doesn't fall over. You really gotta force it down, and I don't really like doing that. So not the best. I mean, fourth gear, and this thing just wants to go to the moon. This thing's so powerful. Sure, the upshifting does feel a little clunky, but maybe I'm still shifting just a little bit too early. Downshifting feels fine. Would I buy this bike if I didn't have any motorcycles in my garage? Okay, at lower speeds, it is pretty flickable. At the higher speeds, it does get a little bit tougher. If I didn't have any bikes in my garage, I'm looking to buy a bike, and I'm not a new rider, have a little experience. Would I buy this? Maybe I would. Maybe I would spend the money. If this is under 10, which I think it is, I think it's around 96, I might just do it. This gives me the same feeling that the Kawasaki Versys 650 gave me, except this is smoother and more powerful. That's on the top of my list. This might just pass up the Versys. It's definitely not as practical, and I'm not a huge fan of the looks, but this thing's got some nuts on it. Suspension feels alright. I'm hitting some pretty big bumps, and I can feel them, but it's not unreasonable for the size of the bump. Shifting down from second to first does feel a little bit odd. Didn't realize I had shifted into neutral on accident there. Would I buy this bike? I just might buy this bike brand new if I didn't have plenty of bikes already. Would I buy this bike used? At even 8,000, 7,500, 8,000 used. Still, that's a lot of bike. All right, just finished up the test ride of the Kawasaki Z900. And going into it, I actually almost switched last minute to a different bike because I'm not typically a fan of sport bikes and naked sports. Decided to stick with it, and I am not disappointed at all. Loved it. Favorite bike of the demos so far. I've done 3, and this is by far my favorite. And it probably will be for the day. Engine. When you're idling, it's buzzy. Like I said in the video, everything was vibrating. It was very fine vibrations. When you get up to speed, it's all gone, basically. The mirrors, just a little bit. Everything else, almost nothing. Like I said during the test ride, would I buy this bike? I think it's listed around the $9,500 mark, and it felt like a $9,000 to $10,000 motorcycle. It really did. So would I buy it at that price? If I was in the market, I would. Used, I'd probably look for around 7 to 8, and you'd get a ton of bike for that kind of money. Were there anything I didn't like about it? No. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want to see me test ride the brand new for 2024 Kawasaki Eliminator 450, click this video right here. And if you want to see me test ride a bunch of other bikes, click this playlist right over here.
Rapping when they own me to sing on. They all want an album, so I gave them 20 singles. Yeah, I'm trying to get a hit, that's why I